Welcome students in Rayata Online School Education for Junior College in subject biology. In the last lecture, we have already studied about the central nervous system of the human being, including the structure of the brain. Then today we will learn about the next part of this chapter and the central nervous system, and this part is the spinal cord. So the spinal cord is enclosed and protected in the neural canal of the vertebral column. Actually, it is hollow, tubular, soft, whitish, slightly flattened. Okay, slightly flattened and cylindrical tube-like structure. It is measures about 42 to 45 centimeter long and 2 centimeter, that means the width. Actually it is extend from medulla oblongata to the, this is the last part of the brain, from this medulla oblongata to the second lumbar vertebra. Okay, so the posterior most end of that spinal cord, this end, actually this, that means the second lumbar, and this posterior most end of the spinal cord is called phylum terminale. Beyond second lumbar vertebra, it forms the fiber like, this is the fiber, that means it forms the bunch of dorsal and ventral roots of the pair of spinal nerves, or they maybe looks like the fibrous horse tail like structure on the beyond the part of the spinal cord is known as the cauda equina. So collectively we have observed the spinal cord which is emerges out from the medulla oblongata. Then they have been present up to the second lumbar vertebra. The last tapering end of the spinal cord is known as the phylum terminale. But below this or beyond the particular second lumbar vertebra, the fibrous horse tail like structure is observed, and this is known as the cauda equina. Then the spinal cord have been also observed some swellings. Actually, the first swelling on the spinal cord is known as the cervical swelling. That means this swelling is present in the neck region, and another swelling on the lumbar. So the cervical swelling gives nerve plexus which supply nerves to the hand, while lumbar swellings here, these lumbar swellings have to again give the nerve plexus, and they have been supplies nerves to the legs. So this spinal cord here emerges out by means of the 31 pairs of the spinal nerves. So this is the morphology of the spinal cord, no doubt. Actually we are then turn towards the next part of the spinal cord, and this part is the TS of the spinal cord, or the anatomy of the spinal cord. Actually anatomically the TS of the spinal cord is appears elliptical. This spinal cord have been consist of at its center the specific neurocentral canal. This canal is also known as neurocele, and this central canal is lined by single layer of cuboidal cell of epithelium known as the ependyma. That means the central canal internally lined by means of the cuboidal layer of the cells, and these cells are known as the ependymal cells, and these cells have to secrete in that neural canal the cerebrospinal fluid. Actually the TS of the spinal cord have been shows the such type of the structure. At the center of this TS, the butterfly shaped or H shaped structure, this is the dark H shaped structure is observed, and this structure is known as the gray matter. Actually this H shaped gray matter have been consist of the three types of the horns, that means the outgrowths, that means the two outgrowths of this gray matter emerges out on the ventral region, that means the dorsal region. Then the two outgrowths which are emerges out towards the ventral region, and two more outgrowths which are the lateral region. Actually, the dorsal outgrowths of the gray matter is known as the dorsal horns or the posterior horns. Then these two gray matter outgrowths which are emerges out towards the ventral side, these are known as the ventral horns or the anterior horns, and this much, that means the particular outgrowths here and here, these outgrowths are known as the lateral horns. So the ventral horns contains motor neurons. The white matter present inside the gray matter, no, the white matter is present always is in the spinal cord by means of the outside the gray matter. That means the CH-shaped gray matter is always is surrounded by means of the white matter. This is white matter, and actually this, that means the white matter again divided due to the this dorsal median septum and ventrally by means of the ventral median fissure. So this ventral median fissure and this is the dorsal median septum have to divide this white matter by means of its right and the left side. That means the particular, that means the division of the white matter due to this septum and the fissure have been divided by means of the dorsal funicle. So this is the dorsal side white matter known as the dorsal funicle. This is the ventral side gray matter known as the ventral funicle, and these are the lateral funicles or funiculus. So dorsal funiculus, ventral funiculus, and the lateral funiculus. So the funiculus has two nerve tracts, ascending as well as the descending. Actually, this spinal cord, which is the part of the central nervous system present in the human being, is very important because they have to perform such type of the functions, and these functions may be, it acts as the pathway for conduction of nerve impulses between brain and the different part of the body. One more function is also performed by the spinal cord, and this function is to control the spinal reflexes and minimize load on the brain. So this much information about the spinal cord. Then we have turned toward the next part of this topic, and this is the peripheral nervous system. So actually the peripheral nervous system is formed by the nerves which are arising from the brain as well as the spinal cord. So the nerves are the white thin thread like. The nerves may be consist of the axon, myelin sheath, neurolemma, or nerves may be myelinated, non-myelinated. Actually, these myelinated nerves carry impulses more rapidly than the non-myelinated nerves. According to their function, the nerves are of three types, and these are the sensory nerve, afferent nerves, motor nerves, efferent nerves, and the mixed nerves. So actually this peripheral nervous system, that means the made by means of the particular nerves which are arising from the brain, that means the nerves are known as the cranial, and the number is about 12 pairs, and the second one, the spinal nerves which are already arise from the spinal cord, and the number is 31 pairs. So we have detailed study about these nerves which are emerges out from the brain region, and actually these are known as the cranial nerves, and the number is 12 pairs. In human being, how many cranial nerves are present? 12 pairs. And actually we have studied with the help of this chart the number of the cranial nerves, its origin or distribution, type and function of this nerve. Actually the 12 nerves of the brain. Out of this 12 nerves, the first nerve is known as the olfactory nerve. So the olfactory nerve always is originated from the olfactory lobes and distributed into the epithelium of the nose. Type is always a sensory, and the function, so the function is to detect the sense of smell. So that means the nerves which is emerges out from the olfactory or the olfactory lobes. Next one is the optic. So the optic nerves are emerges out from the optic lobes and distributed throughout the retina of the eye. This nerve again sensory and to detect the sense of sight. Third cranial nerve is oculomotor. Origin is cerebrum, that means the cerebral hemisphere. Then again distributed by means of some eye muscles. This nerve is motor and they have function as a movement of eyeball. Then next fourth cranial nerve is the thallic or trochlear. This nerve emerges out from the floor of the midbrain. This nerve again motor and function as a rotation of the eyeball to control the rotation of eyeball. One more nerve, that means the fifth nerve, is known as the trigeminal. So this nerve is also known as the dentist nerve. Actually, this nerve emerges out from the anterior medulla oblongata, distribute into the tongue region, jaws region, tooth region. So this nerve is known as the mixed nerve, and they have to sensitize of touch, taste, and also jaw movement, maintain the jaw movement. Actually, some sub, that means the dentist nerve which are present or trigeminal nerves present in the that means this cranial part of the brain, and these nerves may be ophthalmic, maxillary, mandibular. Then the next sixth nerve is the abduction. The function is movement of the eye. This nerve is again motor. Then the seventh nerve is the facial. So this facial nerve becomes originate from the lateral side of the pons faroli and distribute among the muscles of the face, neck, taste, buds, salivary glands, and this nerve becomes mixed again and function as a to control the facial expressions, movement of the neck, then the movement of tongue, then the saliva secretion. So this much functions performed by the facial nerve. Then the next eighth nerve, and the eighth nerve is the auditory nerve, or this nerve is also known as the vestibulocochlear nerve. Audition. So this nerve originated from the lateral side of the medulla, then distribute into the internal ear. This nerve becomes sensory and the function is hearing and the equilibrium, to listen. Then the ninth nerve is the glossopharyngeal, and this nerve is again originate from the lateral side of the medulla, distribute by means of the muscles and the mucus of pharynx, tongue, then parotid or salivary gland. This nerve is again mixed and they have to perform the taste or the pharyngeal contraction or the saliva secretion. The 10th nerve, cranial nerve present in the human being, and this nerve is known as the vagus. So actually this vagus nerve again emerges out from the lateral side of the medulla oblongata, and they have been distributed by means of the region of the larynx, trachea, pharynx, stomach, lungs, heart, and intestine. This vagus nerve is again mixed and they have to control the function as a visceral sensation and visceral movement. So the 11th nerve, which is spinal accessory, coming from the lateral and the posterior side of the medulla. Then distribution, muscle of larynx, pharynx, neck, and the shoulder. This nerve is again motor, and they have to perform function as the movement of the pharynx, neck, and the shoulder. And the last, that means the nerve, which is the hypoglossal. And this hypoglossal nerve again emerges out from the ventral side of the medulla and distribute muscles of the tongue. This nerve is again motor and perform as a movement of tongue. So in this way, we have to study with the help of this chart the different cranial nerves, that means the 12 pairs of the cranial nerves which are emerges out from the brain region. Actually, the number of the nerve becomes, that means the understood with the help of the specific, that means the sentence. On occasion of tea party, the attractive faces are girl visitors saying hello. On first, that means the word of that digit of that particular, that means the word becomes the name of the nerve. On O olfactory, occasion O optic, op O oculomotor, T capital T trochlear, or maybe parapithelic. Then the T trigeminal, A attractive, A abduction, then faces F for facial, then R, A for auditory, then girl, G for glossopharyngeal, then visitors, V for vagus, then saying, S for spinal accessory, and hello, H for hypoglossal. So these are the 12 cranial nerves which are emerges out from the different, that means the part of the brain. Then the peripheral nervous system again consists of the another some nerves which are emerges out from the spinal cord, and these nerves are known as the spinal nerves. Actually, these nerves are arise from the spinal cord. All spinal nerves are mixed type, and the number is about 31 pairs. These are divided into 5 groups. Actually, these nerves are divided by 5 groups, and these groups are, that means these nerves becomes divided by 5 groups, and these groups are, first group is the cervical, that means the nerves which are emerges out from the cervical vertebrae present in the neck region, and the number is about 8. So this is the cervical region. Then the thoracic, this is the thoracic region. So the thoracic region of the vertebrae have been, that means the emerges out the 12 pairs of the thoracic nerves. Then the lumbar, so the lumbar here, so the lumbar side of that vertebral column here again emerges out 5 pairs of the spinal nerves. Then the sacral part here, then the lower part of the back or the pelvis region, this region, actually this region. So this sacral region emerges out 5 pairs of the spinal nerves, and the last is the coccygeal, that means the tail region or the coccygeal region have been emerges out 1 pair of the spinal nerves. So totally the spinal nerves are 31 pairs, and they have been emerged out from such a different region of the spinal cord. Actually, we have to understand this, that means these spinal nerves with the help of the formula, and the formula is C8 T12 L5 S5 CO coccygeal 1 is equal to 31 pairs. So this, that means the spinal nerves which are emerges out from the spinal cord, and collectively these cranial nerves as well as the spinal nerves have been commonly to form the peripheral nervous system in the human body. Then we have turned toward the next part of the chapter, and this part is the formation of the spinal nerve. So this is again very important. So how the spinal nerves become formed? Actually, the spinal nerves are formed by fusion of the dorsal root and the ventral root. So always is the dorsal root is sensory, ventral root is motor, and these two roots becomes unite to form the spinal nerve, and spinal nerve always is mixed. So the dorsal root arises from the dorsal horn. Okay, this is the dorsal root arises from the dorsal horn of the gray matter, and this is the ventral root arises from the ventral horn of the gray matter. So these two, that means the roots, becomes arises from this gray matter, and they have to emerges out to form the dorsal, that means the horn, and the ventral horn. So the dorsal root and the ventral root join in the neural canal to form short mixed spinal nerve. So this, that means the dorsal root, ventral root join here to form the mixed spinal nerve, and the spinal nerve emerges out through paired aperture called intervertebral foramen. Okay, and divides into three branches, 1, 2, and 3. Three branches are the ramus dorsalis, ramus ventralis, and the ramus communicans. So these three branches of the mixed spinal nerves becomes formed after the formation. So the ramus dorsalis is the short, and they have been turned toward the innervating skin and the muscle of the dorsal side. The ramus ventralis, this is the longest ventral branch of the spinal nerve, innervating skin and the muscles of lateral and the ventral side. And ramus communicans, short branch that joins spinal cord to the sympathetic ganglia. So this is the sympathetic ganglia. So this is the formation of the spinal nerve. Then we have turned towards the next and the last part of this chapter, and this is the autonomic nervous system or autonomous nervous system. So this system controls the working of the internal vital organs or the visceral organs. It gives response to internal receptors and is involuntary. It consists of only motor nerve fibers. And actually, this autonomic nervous system are of two types of the systems, and these systems are the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. So sympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system is formed by means of the 22 pairs of sympathetic ganglia. How many pairs? 22. These ganglia are linearly arranged on two sympathetic cords running either side of the vertebral column. Then sympathetic nervous system is connected to central nervous system by spinal nerve fibers. It works, that means sympathetic nervous system becomes works during stress, pain, anger, fear, or emergency like fight, flight, or fright. So this sympathetic nervous system is also secrete the two types of the emergency hormones, and these are the adrenaline or non-adrenaline. So these hormones are known as the emergency hormones. So this, that means the sympathetic nervous system have to perform such type of the functions in emergency. And some examples of the controlling function by the sympathetic nervous system are the heartbeat increase, then the blood vessels constrict, then the pupil of eye dilates, then urinary bladder relaxes. So these more than functions which are done due to the sympathetic nervous system in the human body. And next, that means the system is the parasympathetic nervous system, and this parasympathetic nervous system is again consist of nerve fibers of some cranial nerves, sacral nerves, parasympathetic ganglia present on the sides of visceral organs like heart, lungs, stomach, kidney, etc., and parasympathetic fibers. So this system releases acetylcholine, which acts as a neurotransmitter as well as inhibitor of visceral organs. This system works during rest and brings about relaxation, comfort, and the pleasure. So both these sympathetic as well as the parasympathetic nervous systems are antagonistic in a function in the human being. That means there are some functions that means the one system have to start the function of such organ, another nervous system have to stop the function of that particular organ. That means the on and the off particular, that means the functions of the body, visceral body organs is performed by these two types of the systems under autonomic nervous system. This parasympathetic nervous system here perform like such type of the function. In the sympathetic, heartbeats increased, parasympathetic heartbeat decreased. In sympathetic nervous system, the blood vessels become constrict, while in the parasympathetic blood vessels becomes dilates. In sympathetic nervous system, the pupil of the eye dilates. Then in the parasympathetic nervous system, oppose the function. Pupil of the eyes become constrict, or just the urinary bladder relaxes in the sympathetic, while in the parasympathetic urinary bladder becomes constrict. So in this way, we have studied today the structure of the spinal cord, Ts of the spinal cord, then the formation of the spinal nerves, then the peripheral nervous system. Then the peripheral nervous system consists of some nerves which are arising from the brain region as well as the spinal cord region. That means the cranial nerves as well as the spinal nerves. And the lastly, we have studied about the autonomic nervous system, included sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Thank you.